Hello friends! Do you believe in miracles? Even if you don't, watch this episode till the end and it might very well change your mind. This true story took place in a small town in Moldova. One day, when the family returned home, they couldn't find their dog. At first, they hoped he had run away and would soon return home. But a few hours later, they started actively searching for their pet. They suspected that their dog Rex had been stolen right from their home. Rex's owners considered him a real member of their family. Natalia and her son Peter got the German Shepherd puppy when he was 2.5 months old. The animal never left his owner's side. On weekends, Peter took Rex to spend some time outdoors and swim in the river. On weekdays, family trained the puppy on a special training ground. The dog reciprocated the love of his owners, faithfully guarding the family estate. The loyal four-legged companion always held his honorary post in the kennel on the family property. When the owners returned from work or school, Rex always greeted them excitingly, wagging his tail, jumping around, and trying to lick his beloved humans. That happened every day until Rex disappeared. Our dog seemed to have vanished into thin air. We didn't keep him on a chain, but he never ran out of the yard. He was a pure breed and with good pedigree. He was such a sweetheart. Someone must have stolen him. But it's not like we could file a missing dog report with the police. That's why we put all our efforts into searching for him ourselves, the dog's owner Natalia said. Natalia and her son made posts online and gave notices in local newspapers, shared their story on the radio, and even tried to find their dog through local television. We kept driving around our neighborhood looking for him for 2 months, the dog owner shared. We encountered several scammers who claimed they had found our dog, and we even gave them money. We searched for him very thoroughly. Unfortunately, it was all in vain. Time passed, but Rex was still missing. Years went by. We missed our Rex so much that we didn't even want to get another dog, even though we were offered many pure-breed pets as gifts. During all this time, I felt like I was waiting for a miracle to happen, Natalia said. And then, 7 years later, a woman knocked on our door and told us, "I found your dog." The emaciated stray dog was caught in a neighboring village, about 20 kilometers from Rex's home. The poor thing had been living near a grocery store where kind passerbys gave him some food every once in a while. No one knew how and why the dog ended up there. By that time, Rex was barely dragging his paws due to exhaustion. Marina, the woman who found him, ran a dog shelter. It was late spring, the shelter owner recalled. I specialize in old German Shepherds, so I took Rex in. He didn't have a collar. He had a calm demeanor and a wise look in his eyes, full of life experience. The dog gracefully climbed into the car and stared thoughtfully out the window. A very noble dog. When we got home, he immediately lay down near the porch to guard the house. After feeding him, I checked for any wounds. That's when I found the mark on his ear. Such marks are given to all purebred dogs. Thanks to that mark, Marina was able to identify the breeder who made the imprint, and she immediately contacted the agency. Remarkably, they kept all their books, the shelter owner said. They had information about the dog's owner who purchased the puppy, but they only had the address. I worried that the dog's owners might have moved by that time, but I still went to the address. I knocked on the door and explained that I found a German Shepherd with the mark. The homeowner whispered, "It must be our Rex." Natalia immediately called her son and joyfully announced that they had found Rex. By that time, Peter had grown up and started a family of his own. But he hadn't forgotten about his four-legged friend. The joyful news reached him while he was on a boat trip. Natalia went to retrieve the dog, and Peter stayed on the line throughout the trip. Upon arrival, the first thing she did was check the dog's tooth to confirm its identity. Rex had broken a canine tooth when he was a puppy. Tears and hugs followed. She kept whispering, "Rex, my little Rex." The woman put her pet in the car and drove him back home. Witnessing the scene also made Marina shed a few tears as she waved them goodbye. Rex's owner simply couldn't believe their luck. "It's nothing short of a miracle," Natalia said tearfully. "It's unbelievable. All the way to Marina's place, we couldn't stop doubting that it was our Rex. Things like this simply don't happen in real life. The mark could have faded over years, but fortunately, our beloved pet didn't get put down during all those years. His mark didn't fade, and kind people eventually found him. It must have been destiny. Moments like these make you believe in miracles." Rex was severely emaciated and had difficulty standing on his legs, so his owners immediately took him to the vet, after which they started his treatment and made sure to feed him well. Now, he runs around outside and asks to come inside the house at night, Rex's owner laughed. "He's like a human to us. When we took him for an x-ray, he looked at us with such devoted eyes. If Rex could speak, he would tell us what he went through. He must have been kept somewhere. His incisors are worn down. It seems like he was gnawing on either a chain or a cage. When I think about it, my heart breaks into pieces. Then he was probably abandoned and wandered around the streets. When we found him, it was impossible to look at him without tears." Rex's family is convinced that he never forgot them. When Rex recovered, judging by his behavior, his reactions, and attitude towards us, he remembered everything, Natalia said. "When I first petted him, tears seemed to well up in his eyes, genuine tears. At first, he didn't play much and hardly ever walked, but now he frolics around as if he's returned to his childhood. But the fear still remains. Whenever the gates of the yard are open, he immediately runs to his enclosure and hides." After Rex returned home, the dog owner started thinking of May 25th as his second birthday. And we hope that after all the hardships and trials Rex had to endure, he will have a wonderful life with his loving family. What do you think? What kind of punishment do these people who stole the dog deserve? Well, that's all for today, friends. Let us know in the comments if you liked Rex's story or not. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.